We've seen them, so let's talk about functions. I'm going to go out to the w3schools.com website and select the JavaScript tutorial, and a little ways down the menu along the left hand side you'll see functions. That's where we're at. Now, as a programmer, I understand that the work of a program can get very complicated. And functions are extremely useful because they allow me to break all of the work of a program into smaller pieces that focus on just one task. I can call these functions or invoke these functions whenever I need to. In fact, sometimes I'll actually use a function in more than one program. So, now, you saw 3 functions in the last 3 episodes. There is one to create an alert box. There is one to create a confirm box and another one for a prompt box. Remember these guys? Remember, if I click on my button for press if hungry, a function runs and it comes back and says, I am starving. Well, let's revisit that code for a minute. So I'm going to pull up my text wrangler, and here we go. Now, this function is a very simple one. It's only 4 lines. But in those 4 lines, it completes an entire task. The first line, function show alert. The word function is a reserved word in JavaScript. It means, hey guys, I'm defining a function. What follows is the name of the function. You and I get to make this up. We can call it whatever we want, but generally we'll call it something that makes sense. If I'm going to show an alert box, why not call it show alert? Now, a function name always ends in a left and then a right parentheses. Okay? So, all of the steps, all of the commands that I'm including in my function are enclosed within angle brackets. In this case, we only have one command, and that is to show our alert box. But if we come down to the next function, we have several. First, we're defining a variable, and we're calling the confirm function of JavaScript. Then we're testing the value of R and doing one thing if it's true and another if it's false. But that entire task is contained within our function. In our third function, we also had more than one statement. We declared a variable called name, and then we called the prompt function. Now, the prompt function is our way of getting input from the keyboard. So our viewer can type something in, and it's captured by the browser and JavaScript. So then we can test their input and take alternate actions. In this case, we're just testing to see if there's something in it. And if there is, we'll write a message echoing back that input. Okay? But again, the complete task is enclosed within this function. Now, sometimes we'll have a function and we'll want that function to return a value. And there's an example of this out at the tutorial. So let's go back and scroll down. Okay, now, if you take a look, and I'm going to increase this a little bit. In fact, I think I've got it already open in the Try It editor. Okay. Now, if we take a look, this function is called product. And it's not just a left and right parentheses anymore. It's got A, comma, B inside. So it is going to need 2 parameters in order to do its task. Now its task is to multiply A times B. And so we come down, there's only one statement here. Return A times B. So whatever 2 values are given it, it multiplies and gives them back. That's what the return statement does. So here is where it's called in this document write statement. Notice that it says document.write. And then within the parentheses of that function, it calls product and gives it the numbers 4 and 3. So that when we run product, A is 4, B is 3, the product of the 2 is 12, 12 is returned, and if you take a look on the right, that is what got printed, 12. So, that's a nice beginning lesson for you on functions. Please, please, please practice breaking your scripts down into functions which only complete one thing. It'll make your life so much easier.